My fellow delegates, I'm coming to you one final time to share with you a bit more about myself and my life experiences so that as you consider the various candidates for the board positions, you have a better sense of me as a person. Let me start by sharing with you a bit about my history in the sport of purebred dogs. My wife and I began our careers in purebred dogs working with my wife's aunt, who was a Sheltie breeder. We actively bred and exhibited Shelties for several years and joined the American Shetland Sheepdog Association in the mid-80s. We both maintain our membership in ASSA. We were actively engaged with two local specialty clubs in the Chicago area for many years, including the Chicagoland Shetland Sheepdog Club and the Interlocking Shetland Sheepdog Club of Moni, Illinois. While engaged with those clubs, we both served in various offices, including my service as president of CSSC for one term. We have also been actively engaged with all breed clubs in various parts of the country, including the Freeport, Illinois Kennel Club and the former Gold Coast Kennel Club in Chicago. I have also been a member of Tampa Bay Kennel Club, and currently we are members of the Elm City Kennel Club. I have had the opportunity to serve as show secretary for Interlocking SSC and as show chairman for Tampa Bay. I have also worked in a variety of capacities for those clubs as well, but most often you will find me stewarding, not only for my club, but for other clubs in the area as well, both through the Professional Stewards Association in the area, as well as when asked by those clubs who still provide their own stewards. Purebred dogs and the activities associated with purebred dogs remains an active part of our lives, and my enthusiasm for the sport is part of the reason I am at this time seeking to join the board. Let me turn now to sharing information about my professional career, which is probably more varied than most. But it is that variety of experience that allows me to bring a different perspective to the board. Upon graduating from college with a BA in psychology, I went to work for the Illinois Department of Mental Health, where I worked with emotionally disturbed children, and was privileged to be asked to work on one of the first geriatric treatment units in the country. This began my work in the field of geriatrics that continued as a critical element in my professional development during both my clinical and academic careers. In order to advance my clinical career, I returned to school and received a graduate degree in social work. As a clinician, I worked in a variety of settings, including family service agencies and psychiatric facilities. Additionally, like many clinicians, I opened a small private practice to supplement my income. As my career progressed in the various agencies in which I worked, I went from being a clinician to a clinical supervisor and then into administration. Ultimately, I made the decision to return to complete my education, and I pursued my doctorate in public health with a focus on infectious disease epidemiology. After entering the world of academia, I rose through the ranks from assistant professor to full professor. My research focused on developing an understanding of Alzheimer's disease and its impact on both patients and caregivers. I also used my training to develop a research laboratory that focused on elder mistreatment. That laboratory, at the height of its operations, was receiving between $1 and $1.5 million annually in competitive grants. But more importantly, the research provided important information for those working with Alzheimer's caregivers on the need to monitor caregivers for depression and to intervene when depressive symptoms appear. I also began to assume leadership roles within the university, serving as faculty senate president at the University of South Florida from 2001 through 2003. I then moved into various administrative capacities at two universities until assuming my current role as Dean of Graduate Studies at a large comprehensive university where I helped turn a unit that was losing students, that one will grow to providing 35% of the student population by 2020. One of the most important experiences for me was my time as Faculty Senate President, where by virtue of a state constitutional amendment, I was appointed to the Board of Trustees for the university. In that role, I had to learn balancing the needs of my constituent group, the faculty, with my fiduciary responsibility to the university as a board member, a situation similar to being a delegate and a member of the board. I had to develop the skills needed to interact with the press as well as the state legislature. I had to listen to and engage my constituents in meaningful dialogue around potential decisions, and then, using that input, act in the best interests of the total organization. Thanks for listening, and I hope this brief history of my career and my involvement in the sport of purebred dogs has helped you better understand my strong desire to give back to the sport of purebred dogs by serving on the AKC board. It is my hope that you will support me by selecting me as one of your choices for the board. Thank you.